Record. Oh, there's
Recording in progress.
I've been informed there's a recording in progress.
Yes, I'm here to tell you that that's true. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but we've been doing this for like 8 years now.
That's wild. It is not that long.
It
is it?
If we started in 2018, then yeah. Think about it.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the crypt keeper.
We're in like second grade. We can like read letters and shit.
Whoa, the alphabet was truly life-changing.
Truly life-changing. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, currently at this moment in time, I'm excellent because it's a beautiful snow globe outside my window and I'm cozy and under my blankie. But otherwise, my world's on fire. How about yours? You know?
My world's on fire. How about yours?
How about yours?
Copyright.
We don't have the rights to that.
It's fine. I mean, are they really going to come after us at this point in our lives?
You know what? Might add it to the list.
Add it to, yeah. If singing 90s jams on our podcast to the 18 people that listen to it is a crime, then take me away, bitch. Like, truly.
Handcuff me. I'm ready.
Yeah, truly. I mean, I feel like I went to the doctor recently and they were like, have you experienced any sense of like existential dread recently? And I was like, I mean, like a reasonable amount for the situation we're in. And they went, yeah, okay. Like, they were like, do you think you have depression? And I was like, no, shockingly. And they were like, okay, that's really what that question is. And I was like, okay, I know this. We know this. But like,
nice.
Yeah, personally, I'm fine. Like everything
Good.
actually has been quite good. Obviously, the state of the world is terrifying and we are slipping faster and faster into like deeper layers of fascism than we have experienced in our lifetimes, in this country anyway. And that's not great.
No, it's not fun.
It's not stellar. But I mean, like, I have a water bottle. Like, everything's fine. Like,
Oh, good. Keep hydrate or dihydrate.
truly. It's a giant. So I just got back from the Disney parks. Don't cancel me for going there. And I'm
Oh
showing.
my god. It's the trash cans.
It's the trash cans. I was thinking I wanted a knockoff Stanley Cup because I want to drink more water.
Nice.
And but I don't want to spend Stanley Cup money. So
valid.
I went to Disney and spent more than Stanley Cup money.
I love a girl who sticks to her morals.
Yeah. Then it ain't me. Yeah. I also went to Epic Universe, which was very fun with my brother.
Oh,
Which is-
I'm not familiar with this.
It's the new Universal Park.
Oh, based on Epic?
No,
Or is it just called Epic?
it's just called Epic Universe. I assume because a millennial
okay.
named it. I assume
Fair enough.
somebody my age or
I was
older.
like, I didn't think there was enough love for that movie.
No.
To get its own world.
No, it's a whole new park. Like there's
Interesting.
Yeah, it is actually really, really fun. Obviously there's a Harry Potter world. We know how we feel about Harry Potter. But there's a How to Train Your Dragons world. Sleeper hit, let me tell you. It was exceptional.
Oh, nice.
It was
I bet.
so fun. I was shocked by how fun that land was. And then there's Nintendo World, which was so fun. I mean, it was overstimulation hell.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because everywhere you look, there's just like ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. You're just like
Yeah, so
children
many
screaming
sounds.
and like there's coins everywhere and people are playing games, so you just hear bling 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 bling.
Yup.
And I was like,
I bet.
and the food was bad, but that's okay. And then, but the rides were really fun because it's like real life Mario Kart
Nice.
and like a Donkey Kong ride. And then there's, I think it's called Darkmoor maybe, but it's basically all the old movie Paramount monster movies.
Oh,
You would
nice.
love it. It was very fun. I was like,
sounds so cool.
this is for Alan. This is for Alan. Yeah, and
Sad.
the main ride, my favorite ride in the park was I think it's called Monsters Unchained, and you go. It's like Victoria Frankenstein, so like Frankenstein's niece or something, is trying to capture Dracula, and then Dracula escapes, and all of the old school monster movies. Monsters are in this ride in animatronics.
Nice.
And you just kind of like, it has you on one of those things where you're just like in a little cart thing, but it's like wee wee pew 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 pew. You're just kind of like bopping around everywhere. And they had like the old Phantom of the Opera like
Nice.
Creature from the
Yes.
Black Lagoon, like the old Mummy, like the Invisible Man, I think was in there. Like it was
it was hard to tell.
hard to tell. He was in a corner. He was just chilling. He was eating a churro. But it was really super fun, and the line for it was like so reasonable compared to all the other ones. I was like, y'all are missing out. This is actually
nice.
excellent. What are you talking
That's
about?
awesome.
It was so fun. And then I know there's another land that we went to, but I don't remember what it was. Bummer. So yeah.
Well,
yeah, it
didn't
was
leave
fun.
an impression.
Expensive as shit, but it was fun.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, I'm glad it was fun.
Thanks. Me too. It was a good time. Yeah. A lot of
Was
walking.
this with your brother?
Yeah. The annual
Nice.
trip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Normally we just do Disney, and I have figured out a way to make it as cheap as possible, which is why we do it every year.
Sick.
Yeah, we normally, this is not sponsored at all, but we normally rent DVC points through David's Vacation Club rentals, which is like basically people who have bought into the scummy timeshare DVC, Disney Vacation Club, can rent their points out to people if they're not going to use them. And so if you rent points through a service like that, you get like a very steep discount on these very deluxe rooms. And so we stayed at Old Key West Resort, which is like so Florida and so like so campy. But it was like $800 for the week.
Oh, wow.
That is a like $400 or $500 a night room.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, you can get really, really good deals if you time it well, and if it's the time of year where like points are worth more. Because obviously during like holiday and like big rush stuff, like there's more points required to reserve the rooms or whatever. So yeah, it was really, really exceptional.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then I was like watching everything go down in the world on my phone while I was like, it's a small world after all. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, you were really having the American experience.
It was very American.
Yeah,
like,
capital
oh.
A, bald eagle screech in the distance.
Truly holding like a churro again.
Yeah.
Just like sadly eating a churro. Being like, oh, fuck. This is so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I assume you didn't go to Disney.
I've never been actually. I would love to go at some point, but I also don't ride rides, so it's like it's a trade-off at that point where it's like go for the experience and like the shows and the shopping and et cetera, et cetera.
I would say if you don't do rides, then Disney is better for you than Universal, because Universal is just Six Flags on steroids. I'm gonna get canceled again, but it is like Universal is aimed at like older people, so a lot of it is like roller coaster based. And they're more like immersive rides up until this new park were kind of shitty. So
bummer.
But Disney does the like nice rides that aren't particularly thrilling because it's aimed at younger kids that are still like really fun and engaging. So you can like, you go on the Haunted Mansion, and the scariest thing is that the buggy like tilts backwards for a few minutes.
Nice.
And that's it. Like
terrifying.
Yeah, and then it's all like the ghosts and shit, which is like so fun.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just sensing that we should go to Disney in the future, if there is a future.
Yeah, if we're still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. I would love that.
Why is Hi everybody, welcome back to the Fic List.
Oh yeah. What?
This is just who we are as people.
We are such great hosts.
We're exceptional hosts. The people tune in for our friendship. Let's be honest about it.
True.
Do they want our in-depth commentary?
Prime.
Yeah, this is prime. We haven't spoken in a long time.
Literally.
Because we're
Since
feuding. Oh yeah, winter concert. I know we're not feuding. I'm very kidding. Since I saw you at my winter concert, but other than that, we haven't really seen each other or chatted.
No, it's been busy.
Aforementioned, you said your life is imploding. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, I just meant that it's like it's a scary time. I feel I'm a generally optimistic and like happy-go-lucky kind of a guy. And lately it's just been like more and more. It's like, oh my God, it's like harder to like do that. Yeah. So it's just like something I've been noticing. But overall, I've been solid, I would say.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. I worried you meant that also your personal life was imploding, and I was like, no, that's bad.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard enough to be living through the end times, and then if like, so I was reading this thing last night that came up, I think on like Tumblr or something, and it was like, we still have to do the fucking laundry.
Oh my God, don't even remind me about the laundry.
Yeah, it's like, oh, everything is like really bad, and we're just watching like the full falling apart of everything, and it's bad, and it's been bad for a long time, to be clear. Like,
for sure,
neither of us are under any illusion
No.
that this is new, but this is a version of bad that we have not experienced in our lifetimes. So to watch this all go down and then be like, oh yeah, now I have to like run the dishwasher. Like,
Yeah, and the other factor in this equation, at least, it's that I work for a political nonprofit, so it's like front of my, I can't throw myself into my work and distract myself from it because it's like almost ever present in my mind, you know?
yeah, because then your work is like, yeah, so it's bad in this particular way. Today.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel too, because I obviously work in higher ed now, and like being at a university that had a lot of federal funding and I was like,
Yikes.
and then it's a state university, so also there's state budget issues, and everyone's just like, what's gonna happen? We don't know.
For sure.
Fingers crossed. I mean, it's truly just like out of our hands. Like, we just don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at least that piece of it is like, I get it, where it's like, oh yeah. Well, there's fandom.
Yeah.
So friends, Romans, countrymen, we're a little rusty, so give us a minute to settle in here. But we decided, since it's that time of year, and we're never together this time of year.
Oh, that is so true. Yeah, usually this would be part of a break.
Yeah.
In more structured season format.
In times where we were actually continuing to do
the before times.
Yeah. To do things not on a total like fuck it schedule. But we decided we're gonna do Valentine's Day fix.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So how do you feel about the concept of love, Alan?
Oh my god, just this is a quick little like question. A quick little question. I mean, I'm a romantic at heart, and like I feel like there are a lot of parts of my experience that I kept. You know, you go through things and you're like, you start to become cynical.
Yeah.
And you're like, you become a little more like sobered up to the concept of it. But I feel like at heart, I always come back to this. Like, it's just that it's my bread and butter. I love love.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. How do you feel about love, Erin?
Depends on the day.
Yep.
Yeah, very much depends on the day. I feel like I vacillate wildly between like, man, I really wish I had a person. Like, it would be so great to make out with someone right now. What a bummer that there isn't like and then other times where I'm like, if anyone comes within 10 feet of me, I'm gonna freak out. And it really depends on the minute how I feel about things.
That's so valid.
Yeah, and I think like we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but the fic that I chose is from a property of fandom that is very, very romantic and very sexy. And someone on TikTok very wisely was like, all right, friends, we've all had our hearts like ripped open a little bit, like ripped asunder by this thing, and you got to remember that it's not the real world. And I was like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I feel like some kind of way about it. I really hate Valentine's Day.
Really? I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's so valid.
Yeah, I'll be honest and be like, part of it is that obviously I've never really had anybody to like share it with, so it's like, it's just a reminder. I'm like, I guess I could buy myself discount chocolate, but I don't know. I don't really feel like it. Like, that's what the day after Christmas is for. And it was just that. And, it's hokey and whatever. Like, I get it. I do. But, like, I don't know.
And it's so commercialized. I mean, it's
so commercial.
It's 120% like a holiday created to make people spend things. Yeah,
totally.
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that there's lovely. It's like lovely, and I understand the argument that there shouldn't be a need for a single day to like show your partner that you love them. Like, it should be like an everyday thing. Yeah. But I like the idea of like, maybe this one's a little extra special, especially after the holidays. At least for me, I find that I always have like a crash afterwards where it's like, now what am I looking forward to but the rest of the year? Yep. So it's nice to have little like milestones, but I totally understand, and I would prefer to not participate in it so like commercially. Like, I wouldn't say like, let's go out to dinner or let's go do this Valentine's Day experience, but I get you a little something, you know?
No, me specifically, No.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I actually think it's totally fine to have an excuse to like hang out with like I will make any excuse. I'll be like, "Oh, it's National Bagel Day. I guess we're going for brunch." Like
Yum.
I'll make shit up. Be like,
Yeah.
"It's Tuesday." You know, that's fine. I think it's just I think it's really the like, oh, you have like today's you have to do it, and like if you don't do it, you're a bad partner or whatever. Like that stuff is always a little like dicey to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Like if that's not you and your partner's vibe, then don't worry about it. But it can be like a nice little opportunity to just do something nice for somebody that you care about. Like that I'm cool with, and I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I do think the Valentine's Day candy is like the lowest tier of holiday candy.
I would agree. Yeah. Like those conversation hearts. Blech, why am I eating like pills? Chalk. Just straight up chalk.
Just chalk. I think between Valentine's Day and Easter, you could probably fight. But Easter at least has like more like chocolate bunnies are usually a little bit better.
Yeah,
chocolate hearts are always so cheap and they taste like plastic. And I'm like, no thanks. And no. It's always like really, really gross.
I agree.
That's why the day after Christmas chocolate is the best.
Oh, yeah. But absolutely. Or Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Although that's like the leftovers, but.
Yeah. I mean, Halloween is just regular candy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, Halloween is just you go and buy Reese's cups. Like.
Yeah, true. Shaped as bones.
Yeah. Like maybe they're shaped as like something funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like holiday candy.
Holiday specific. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Like I would take Peeps over conversation hearts, even though I don't like Peeps.
That's so tough. I hate Peeps with a passion.
Well, Peeps are fun to put in the microwave and make them joust.
Oh my god. Are you okay?
No, you've never done peep jousting?
No.
Girl.
Peep jousting?
You're coming to my house.
It's a normal thing.
I feel like we did this at the theater that we worked at. Oops.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, I feel like we did. Maybe it was my year, or maybe it was like me and Beth specifically.
Wild.
But like, yeah, it's absolutely a thing where you go and get a thing of Peeps and you stick a toothpick in it, and then you put it in the microwave, and you just are like, they joust because they expand because they're marshmallows, so they get bigger, and then they just like stab each other, and then they're jousting. And
who's the winner in that scenario?
Everyone, no one, I don't know. I guess you pick a Peep, like you pick if I have the pink Peep and you have the blue Peep, and then whichever one gets stabbed first dies. I don't know. I never thought that far ahead. I was just excited I was just excited to explode a Peep in the microwave.
There it is. That's what we're looking for.
We also used to do that with bar soap, but that was expensive. So my mom was like, you have to stop doing that.
I can't tell what it says about either you or me that I've never heard of. Like, I've never even, the thought of putting something in the microwave that doesn't belong there has never crossed my mind.
I think it means that you had attentive adults in your life, and I fully did not.
I didn't either, but I went in a different direction. It's just funny.
Yeah, we had different things that we were doing to pass the time.
Yeah, evidently.
What crazy shit did you get into? Fuck the fix. We're gonna talk about this now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, me and my cousins were young and like impetuous, and like we would drip like hot wax on each other, like off the candle thing.
Okay. That's crazy. That's wow. You could have asked me to name 6 activities, and that is not one that would have landed in my brain.
It's just the first one I could think of that I was like, it has to be on the level of exploding Peeps in the microwave or bars of soap in the microwave. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, this is how we spend our days.
Yeah.
Let's try to meet you at the Peep exploding weirdness.
And you were like,
and then you immediately, I was like,
immediate
okay,
judgment.
You're like, ew.
Yeah, it's like, no. Well, that's just like violence.
It was like a sting. And then you got to peel it off like glue.
Oh, that's fair. I guess we always just went the glue route. Like we would just, whatever.
Yeah.
You'd cover your hands in glue and then be like, I'm shedding, and like peeling.
You know, the one that I could never get behind as a child is like when when people used to, I would never, but like would take a needle and then stick it through like a layer of skin, but it wouldn't be like painful because it's like the top layer or whatever. And I was like, what have you missed?
So real. Yeah, I never did that either. I also had friends who like gave themselves piercings, which was a bad idea.
Oh, yeah. Parent trap.
Yeah.
Doing more harm.
Yeah. And I was like, that's how you catch a vein, like,
yeah,
or give yourself a fun infection in your face,
Too much can go wrong.
Yeah. And like that I was never into, like any of that kind of like like slightly more hardcore. I was like, can we go back to peep jousting? That was fun for me. I really liked that. You know,
Oh
whatever.
man.
That's very funny.
I guess we should talk about. Well, I had a question for you actually. I always like to ask like what. So you're not a fan of Valentine's Day.
Not really.
So I assume you don't read a ton of it. Was there anything you were looking for specifically in the fics you were reading for this, or were you just trying to find something for a fandom in particular?
The second one. I was like, I know which fandom I want to talk about, so I'm going to have to pick a fic that serves that fandom. I mean, there was also to an extent, like, I do love a romantic gesture, like in a fic specifically. I think there's fun. There's a lot of fun elements at play with Valentine's that cross over with a lot of other like tags that I do enjoy. So like a lot of the same kind of vibes as like a proposal fic or like meet cute kind of stuff or like established relationship stuff where it's just very fluffy and nice and fun. You do have the possibility for a little bit of angst, but like the slightest of slightest angst. Like, let's be real. Like, no one's going to Valentine's Day fic for like, I'm devastated. Like, no.
Hint of angst.
Hint of angst. But sometimes it is nice to have a little bit of like, oh, you know, something's gone wrong with our Valentine's Day and now we just have to like figure it out. So I was kind of looking for something of that, but truly I was like, I'm deep in the trenches on something right now that we need to talk about. And this'll do. This'll do.
That is so valid. Yeah.
So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I think I should talk about your fic first.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say the opposite, but I think either way could go.
Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about on the back half that connects, I think. So it's like I would love the basis of this.
Wonderful. Okay. And then actually, our dear listeners, we are going to do this fic episode, and then we're going to have a whole separate conversation after this of just us yapping as if the last 20 minutes wasn't enough yapping for you. Just wait, there's more coming. So
I was wondering. Yeah,
because you gave me a specific thing that you wanted to talk about and I can connect it back to everything else in this episode. So
perfect.
Yeah, so keep listening. I don't know when this next episode's going to go up. I don't know.
Yeah,
but here we go. Let's start with the fics. What did I send you to read, dearest Alan?
Yes, Arin, you sent me Let Love Rearrange Us. It is on AO3. It's written by Anonymous, so kudos to them. The summary reads, I guess I should actually do the fandom.
Which one is it?
Locking your guesses now. It's Heated Rivalry.
No one should be surprised. Not a single surprise.
Gonna say, I was like, if you know anything about our brand, it should not be at all surprising that this is what we're kicking this off with.
No, the only other competing option was Stranger Things, and Stranger Things was so bad that I was like, no, I'm out of here. I'm out of here right the fuck now.
Peace sides, yeah.
It was nice quick. Knowing you. I'm that gif of Homer like getting into the hedges, and then I was like, I came out the other side to gay hockey. So yeah, here you go.
Oh man, incredible. Yeah, so this is a Heated Rivalry fic, and the summary reads: At first, Ilya thinks it's some kind of deformed bear. Then he sees the weird little claw things it has instead of paws and realizes it's a massive stuffed sloth. Looks like someone's going all out this year, BOUT says from behind him. Or Ilya and Shane might be spending their first Valentine's Day as a married couple apart, but Shane's not letting that stop him. We love an Aura summary.
Do we?
I liked it in this context because I think because this is kind of what you were just talking about is like when you come to a Valentine's Day fic, you kind of want something that's a little fluffy. That's something like I want to know what I'm getting on the tin, and I think this does that excellently. It gives you like just a little bit of like, I think so. I'll give a tiny rundown of the plot because I think again that summary was super effective. But it is their first year apart, and Shane has gotten injured, has like a cracked rib or something, so is out for like a month or a couple weeks, and so is off in San Diego doing like a conference for the Arena Foundation instead of spending Valentine's Day together. So you mostly follow Ilya. Oh, actually, you strictly follow Ilya throughout his day on Valentine's Day, kind of being a little sad at the beginning, and then surprises like start like coming up. Like food delivery is the first one, I think. It's like Thai food.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to practice and he sees this giant deformed sloth, which I have to say he names Bogdan, which is a crossover with the Thursday Murder Club, which in this fic they just call the old people murder thing or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, yes, it's literally one of my favorite book series. And
Oh my
like to have
God.
it called out in this way, I like immediate 5. I was like, I don't even need to read further. I closed it there and said, done.
All
Excellent.
done. Yep.
Yeah. So he's named it Bogdan, and it's like a cute sloth, and like the note is like appropriately. He says, I wanted you two to have something in common, so I picked the slowest animal I could think of. He's never beaten me in a speed skate either, which is just like beautiful and like so fun and like really speaks well to the affectionate teasing nature of their relationship. So
Yeah.
well done. And next is like Russian snacks, like truffle chips that Ilya then goes around like sharing with people. Dinner again. I might be forgetting more, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's the
and
vibe.
then, like yeah,
It's
it's
gifts.
exactly that's the vibe, and it ends with like a phone call between them, a video call, and it's like really sweet. And I was like, so back to the summary bit is like I would have been really upset if it was like 2 surprises and that was one of them in the summary, like, but it feels like there was an appropriate amount of like sprinkling of surprises here.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's like really sweet. It's really cute. I think I had a little bit of a question, and I meant to reread it and I didn't, but I had a question around at the beginning of the fic. Ilya is talking about how they're still not that they're not out or that they aren't very like it sounds like at the beginning of the fic it sounds like they're not out at all, and then at the end of the I think the final gift, or like it's the gift that Ilya realizes last because it's like a social media post that Shane has made, like with their wedding pictures and a lot of like silly beautiful snapshots of their life and saying, you know, the best husband I could have or whatever the caption was. But and so then I was like, I can't tell if this is momentous or if it's like, because it felt a little like Ilya recognized it as a big moment, except I think he specifically recognized it because Shane is such a private person. And I couldn't tell if it's like, is it a big deal because they just aren't very affectionate on a day-to-day basis, or is it because they hadn't been out and this is like Shane coming out in a way that is like as a gift? And so I couldn't tell. And I think that is one of my like only like questions I have, but I really love, so like the beginning part of this fix spent with Ilya kind of like ruminating on that and like trying to like think it like he spends a lot of time thinking about the fact that it's their first Valentine's Day as a married couple and how that shouldn't make such a difference because they've been on the road before and like they haven't spent many Valentine's Days together, but it still does. And I thought that was really sweet to have a kind of a setup of like, okay, like he's prepared for this to be, you know, a little bit of a bittersweet day. And then Shane found ways to still make him feel loved and like and understood. Like that was the other thing. Oh, the thing with the truffle chips is that Ilya like specifically made Shane try them. Oh no, it wasn't the truffle chips, but it was the snacks. It was Russian sunflower seeds, which Ilya swears are so much better than Canadian
Mm-hmm.
sunflower seeds, even though they're like $9 more expensive or something like that.
Yeah.
And Shane tried both of them and said they both taste exactly the same.
Which I
But
believe
got
to be
him.
true.
I'm sure
I was like, how different could
120%.
a sunflower seed be, really? But,
Yeah,
okay.
sound off in the comments.
All right, Noah
if any
Khan, where are
Russians.
you?
Yeah. but Shane gets him the Russian ones anyway, and it's a gesture of like knowing someone
Yeah.
and like appreciating them, meeting them where they are.
Yeah.
That it was really beautiful. So yeah, I loved this fic. I thought it was a really excellent pick.
That's very cute. I was a little bit distracted trying to find the spot that you were talking about, the confusion, and I think it's fair
Oh,
to
yeah.
be confused. I think, and I have not read the books of this series at all. I'm
Yeah.
exclusively living in showland, but I
Mhm.
do know that in the second book they are outed. So it's like one of those things where they sort of like. So I think this exists in a world where they are out, but not necessarily like not public. Like they don't really talk
Yeah.
about it. They don't really do stuff, and it doesn't get into that at all.
Uh-huh.
But I think they are known, and I think part of what is like a thing for Ilya at the end is like Shane is a profoundly private person. So for him
Yeah.
to make big romantic gestures, even just around friends, is kind of like a big deal.
That's
so
valid.
so he sees that as like that's not like you. And he was like, yeah, but you like this and you deserve a nice thing. And like, I can be because we're married now and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate that framing. I think that that's fair. That even if it kind of doesn't matter, because the biggest part of that gesture is that Shane is so private and that he would
Yeah.
have done it anyway. Yeah. I got
Yeah.
there. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's my best guess, to be fair. Like,
Yeah. No, it's a good read though. I
yeah.
think that rings true. You know
Yeah.
what's so funny is last summer I was in a real big gay rom-com phase, and so I cycled through one of the Game Changer books that like it wasn't Game Changer and it wasn't their book, which I think they're the second,
Yeah.
but it was like the fourth one or something like that. And so but Ilya and Shane like popped up randomly, and so I was kind of familiar with their story, but it was so weird to like watch it in like, I was like, oh, this is the other half.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this context is helpful, actually.
Yeah, actually really
Yeah.
helpful.
Did you watch the show when I texted you?
Yes, I think, did I say I was starting that night, or was it tomorrow? And I started and finished it that night. Yeah.
Nice. Incredible.
Yes.
What did you think of the show?
I loved it. Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. You know what though? I really wanted like another full episode with Scott and Kip.
Yeah, me too.
I really liked them a lot.
I loved them. I will be totally honest. When I first started watching the show, I was not into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, I realized after I had watched the whole thing and then gone back, I was like, oh, it's the same thing for me as when a fic is really sexual up front and then gets into the plot later. I have to get to the plot first. Like,
that makes sense.
Because otherwise I don't care. Also, I am gay in the opposite direction. So like watching two men just like fuck around, I was like, this isn't for me. Really. It is, but it's not. And so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And everyone was like, oh my God, the chemistry. And I didn't get it or see the chemistry until I started caring about them as people, which took several episodes. Because at first I was like, what is the deal with these? Like, this like Russian boy is just kind of like sad, and like I get why everybody loves a sad boy.
Kind of sad.
He's just kind of sad. And then Shane, I didn't know was autistic until later. Like, I didn't understand that like his stoicism is part of his neurodivergence, and I was like, this guy just is a brick wall. Like, he just doesn't he doesn't emote, and like and then like after realizing what was going on and then seeing him like open up more. And it was like, oh, he's actually masking. I was like, oh, okay, this is intentional storytelling. This is not like he's a bad actor.
Right.
Which just like, it is a testament to actually how well Hudson Williams, who played Shane, is that like he was able to really go through a lot of emotional changes without losing the core of who Shane was, which was great.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, obviously I've now watched it like 17 times, which is fine. Did I rewatch it last night? Yes.
That's amazing.
Like,
I still have only seen it the one time, which is surprising for me, actually.
That is surprising, actually.
I imagine I'll go back soon. Maybe now that there's snow too.
Yeah. It's a really good rewatch show. I think it gets better on rewatch. But I'm with you. I wanted a whole season of Scott and Kip.
Me too.
Yeah.
I loved them. I like, to the point that episode 3 ended, and then I was like, I kind of just care about them a little more.
I texted the same thing to Caitlin. I was like, wait, can I just have Scott and Kip forever? And she was like, of course you would like the Stucky pairing.
That's so funny.
Because fun fact, Scott and Kip are Stucky.
That's incredible.
Yeah. There's a whole kerfuffle about whether or not this was fan fiction first. And the author has said no, like she didn't really, the story that she gave, take it or leave it, is that it was posted on AO3 as a fanfic because she didn't realize you could post original work on AO3. So she like reskinned an original story with Marvel characters or whatever. And I was like, did you reskin your hockey RPF with Marvel? Because Shane and Ilya are Ovi and Sid Crosby, but whatever.
Right.
It's fine. I'm like, it's very clearly based on like hockey RPF, but whatever. But the one where you can really see that like, oh, these are Marvel like Stucky fanfic is Kip and Scott.
Yeah,
I love it. And I was like, yeah,
too.
I'm a Stucky girly, so of course I love it. Like,
same
Samesies. Duh. So yeah, it was exceptional. I had a great time.
Although on that note, I feel like one of the maybe criticism is maybe not the right word, but the one thing that to me was a point that was like kind of a sticking point when I was watching it was all of the time jumps.
Yeah.
It,
Mm-hmm.
I think specific, I don't know, because some of them, all of them actually, God, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it feels like it was like 9 months later or 4 months later. Or, like
Yeah.
it was hard to kind of keep track of the time passing.
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
For sure. I agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the Scott and Kip timeline I got lost in because I couldn't tell how that lined up with their episode because it felt like their episode happened and then it was like another 4 or 5 years. And so then if that were true, does that mean that the Admirals win the Stanley Cup, he sees his ex of 4 years ago and then magic and it just comes out to the world by kissing him? They know, I don't know. Maybe it's just like I need to go back and rewatch and pay better attention to the timeline, but it was confusing to me as a viewer.
Yeah, no, I think that that is a fair question because I also had questions. And then I also decided that it didn't matter.
Yes,
I was
100%.
like, okay, we're just going to accept this little timey-wimey bullshit and like move
Yes.
on with our day. And I think really the intention with all the time jumps was to speed run.
Yeah.
They've been like Shane and Ilya in particular have been fucking around for the better part of 10 years at this point, by the time you get to the real meat of them figuring it out.
Yeah.
And so like this is a long-standing situationship. And you know, like they're trying to do that, and in order to do that in 6 episodes, you got to jump timelines. I do agree that like a lot of it I was like, where are we in time right now? Like I don't. And why do you look the same the whole time? Like,
oh yeah,
that doesn't help either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, and maybe part of it like is that they went really stylistic with like the subtitle, the time cards.
Yeah.
Or like it would have been more helpful if you showed me like headlines or like social media posts, like something that delineates like this is time passing and like gave me like a standing point.
Yeah. Well, there was also like a couple of moments where I was like, there's like some anachronistic technology moments too.
Yeah.
That like at one point somebody else pointed this out and I didn't clock it in real time, but it is confusing. Is like Shane has an iPhone for a minute and then he has a BlackBerry and then he has an iPhone again. And I was like, no one went iPhone, BlackBerry, iPhone.
Nope.
I lived through that time. Like, what do you know? Once you went iPhone, that was it. Like, you were in the weeds. Over. Like, Blackberries were like a very specific era. And they were very popular for like a couple of years, and then they were gone. Like, that was it. But at the same time that they're doing that, there's also like flat screen TVs, which were not common until later, like until more recent. Like, not those types of like OLED, like nice 4K TVs. And I was like, even rich people didn't have like those super nice flat screen TVs. So I was just kind of like, okay, like I remember getting a flat screen TV for the first time. Like that was a thing that happened in our lives. So I think some of that didn't help either, where I was like, I know we're in like the early 2000s through like 16-ish, I think is where we end. And like someone referred to this as a period piece. And again, I was like, I'm the crypt keeper, but it's true because it's in like a very specific era in time, and like because of that, some of those anachronistic moments I'm like, where are we in this window? Like I don't fully understand, because I think it starts in like 2008 or something like that.
Something like that, to the point where they were like talking about YouTube and they're like, what is YouTube? And I was like, there's no way in the Lord of our I didn't realize how like I must have missed that subtitle or something, but I did have a moment where I was like, there's no way in the year of our Lord and Savior 2026 that people don't know what YouTube is. And then I was like, wait a minute, okay, never mind, I missed something.
Yeah, but also that felt like a moment, that did feel like a moment of like, oh, you're trying really hard to put us in,
to sell,
to put us in this time frame, and in a way that like people don't talk like that. What is this YouTube, child? Please explain it to me like I'm 5 years old.
Right.
And then the mom being like, oh yeah, I go down that rabbit hole all the time. And I was like, do you? Does YouTube
Really?
have an algorithm yet?
Yeah.
Like, if it's 2008, isn't it just like the Numa guy? Like, isn't that mostly it? Like, it's that and like John Green, pretty much. Like,
there you go.
It's like a very specific era of online.
Jenna Marbles.
Yeah, it's like a very specific era of online video, like even predating that, like to a degree, where it was like end of the world and like all of the sort of like dumb, just like viral stuff that
Charlie
like,
bit my finger.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't know, man. But no, I agree with you. I think the time jumps are a little confusing. And then once I accepted it as just, this is how this is going to go. And it's none of my business what year we're in. You know what? Doesn't matter. I like the headcanon that somebody posited that Scott and Kip broke up but it was maybe like a year, less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott had been setting aside tickets for Kip the whole time.
Oh,
Just out of like wanting him to be there, and whether or not he used them, he always got them. So I choose to believe that that's what happened, because I think that's really sweet.
I do think that's really sweet.
Yeah. So I think in my heart, whether or not this is validated by the text, it was at most a year where they were like, we're on a break.
Yeah.
And even less than that, because I think the show implies the timeline that Shane wins 2 cups, and then because he's injured, they get knocked out of the playoffs, and that's the year that Scott Hunter wins. So if the Scott Hunter episode happens before he wins those 2 cups, I think. Who cares?
I thought so.
You know, they're fucking. You know, the show is about the fucking.
Yeah,
I need to be so clear with you. It's about the butts.
Get it.
It's about the butts.
Yes, and it does the butts incredibly well.
The butts are lovely.
Yes.
I do feel really bad for Hudson Williams and Connor Story, because all people want to talk about are their butts.
Their butts. Yeah.
And Connor Story, bless his heart, he's like, do you want to talk about like all the clowning work I do out in LA? And everyone's like, no, sweetie, we don't actually. We just want to talk about your glutes.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. I feel real bad about it, but I also like that's the deal with the kind of show like this. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah. Do we want to keep talking about this, or should we talk about it more in our yap session?
Ooh.
Because I could keep talking about this show for like 3 hours. I should clarify that this is going to go long if we keep talking about it.
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. Okay, then let's keep it to the yap sesh for sure. So I think the reason that I did really love this fic in particular, then to bring it back to fic world, I liked the reason I chose this fic over the like 3 other Valentine's Day fics in this fandom. There we go.
Is that I really liked a world in which they could be just like cute and silly together. And I also really headcanon that Ilya like is such a doofus. And like somebody was like, do you think Ilya would go down the cop slide in Boston?
Yes.
And the answer is yes. Like this guy is so silly. And people are like, Ilya would have to do like Dunkin' Donuts commercials.
True.
And I just love the 2 of them being able to be silly and cutesy and adorable. So like when seeking, I also just went back and looked at this and saw that the tags are Valentine's Day, established relationship, fluff, the tiniest bit of hurt, comfort. And I was like, oh yeah.
It's a hint of
I did
comfort.
In fact say that is what I go look for at the top, and forgot that this is what this fic was.
Literally,
but yeah,
spelled out.
It fully checked all of those boxes for me, so I was like, okay, cool. And like a little bit I was kind of happy for it to be an anonymous fic, because there's a lot of drama in the heated rivalry fandom right now, and I didn't want to put any one fic on blast if you could actually like reach the author, even to talk about how good it is, because it's just like that fandom is having a time right now. So I was like,
interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna pick something that like you actually can't figure out who wrote this. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, they're just speed running a lot of fandom crazy all at once.
Interesting. And
that's the teaser for the yap sesh.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I was like, I figure this must be part of the yap sesh, but I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. So what would you give this ficaruno?
5. Yeah, I'll give it a 5. I'll be generous.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Shook, one might say. Shooketh, as the youth say. I'm 18,000 years old. This show does make me feel really old.
You look great.
Thanks. You know, I've been drinking a lot of water.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this show does make me feel really old. It's fine. I think it's specifically the fandom makes me feel really old. Yay, a 5. We haven't done this in forever, and I forgot the rush of getting a 5. I was like, oh, yes.
I mean, I just think like the only thing I kind of had issues with was a little bit of that unclarity with regards to whether or not they're out or not. But I mean, again, having just talked a little bit about the show and some of the anachronistic or like the things that could be improved on in the show, it made me kind of appreciate the flaw a little more. I'm like, yeah, then you really nailed the show exactly down to its like tiny little things I would change. But overall, I mean, it was sweet. It was funny. It was perfect.
Adorable. Incredible. I'm going to take that 5 and run before you can change your mind.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. So the fic that you sent me, and boy howdy am I excited to talk about this with you, because
Yes.
I feel like this is something you've been sitting on forever.
Yes, since October.
Yeah. For like, as excited as Heated Rivalry has been for me, it's not nearly been as long as what we're talking about now. So the fic you sent me is called Made for You and Me. It is also on AO3. The author is Queer of Cups, which is great. I love that.
Great name.
What a tarot read.
True.
It is a fandom, PHANDOM / the Fantastic Foursome YouTube RPF fic. So it's Dan and Phil. If those are a lot of words to say, Dan and Phil.
Yes.
And the summary reads, the question is, how do we come out on Valentine's Day in the least obnoxious way possible? Dan and Phil make a video. Phil makes a video. Things get better. In the author's notes, it also has an important note that I'm going to include because for me, the layperson who has never, I don't know a goddamn thing about these two other than the fact that they have been gay the whole time. Or I should say they've been together the whole time. I don't actually know how they identify. What you need to know, in 2011, due to a YouTube glitch, a Valentine's Day video Phil made for Dan that was private became public. Since then, it and its many copies have been taken down, and they've asserted that it was just a prank they decided not to go through with. Of course, you can still find references to it because the internet is forever, kids. If you feel weird about me writing about that video, I'd strongly suggest you skip this fic because it's a pretty large element of the fic. Cool? Cool. And then it also has something about it. This is part of a series that I did not read the rest of the series of, although this was a delightful fic overall.
Yep.
So as mentioned in the author's notes, this fic centers around the idea of like they are going to come out on Valentine's Day. And of course, because they're YouTubers, they're going to post a video about it. And so they're trying to figure out like what the video is going to be, like what they're going to do. They talk about it. They like toss some ideas back and forth. And like there's some hesitation about it because of this previous video. So this exists in a world where that previous incident happened. And they've sort of lived with the aftermath of it ever since then. They are not out. They have not made any announcements. So this is them figuring out like, okay, are we going to do this like as a prank? And Dan is kind of like, okay, like, let's just be goofballs about it. And Phil is like sort of being like, this is mostly, it's sort of like from Phil's perspective more so, where he's like, I'll do whatever you want. Like, I like you a lot. So we can do it. It'll be fine. The timeline of the video is a little sort of like back and forth, or not the video, the fic is a little like staggered in a way where it's like very sort of vignette-y. And it goes into like some of Phil's like residual feelings about the previous incident and how like it says at one point they hadn't really fought about it. Like, but it's sort of haunted the narrative for them for like a number of years where it like comes up in fights, but they haven't actually dealt with it. And so it's this sort of lingering like splinter or like thorn that they're both just sort of like, they want to like finish it. And so there's also a moment where Dan walks up and he's holding out his phone to Phil, and it's a collection of engagement rings on his phone. And Phil is like, are you proposing to me by handing me your phone? And he goes, and Dan goes, no, you're proposing to me, obviously. I'm just giving you some ideas. So they're like talking about proposals and like getting like, they're very serious and like, but it's very funny where Dan's like, no, you're going to propose to me. And this is how this is gonna go because I said so. And Phil's just like, I love you, you doofus, but like also like go away. we're not doing a taste test for lube, like we can't do it. And it's very silly. So they finally decide that they're gonna do Chubby Bunny, which is so millennial YouTube.
100%.
Yeah. And so they make the video and like Dan does the Chubby Bunny and Phil has to be like, you cannot have 10 marshmallows. That's too many marshmallows. You're going to die. And so they like make it. It's like a whole thing. And
they title it Lovey Bunny.
Lovey Bunny, which is very silly.
Ridiculous.
So ridiculous. And they like make the video together or whatever. And then they have it ready to go and they're like figuring out what channel it's going to be on. And they like get it ready, whatever. And they decide that they're going to post it. And so they finally post it on Valentine's Day. And then they both are like, and we're shutting down our laptops and shoving our phones in a deep recess of the world because I don't need to know. It's not my business anymore. But then Dan gets like another notification that one of the other channels had posted. And it's because Phil has made a redo of the video that was made before, the one that got leaked. And basically he's like, you deserve a better version of this. So not only did they post a Chubby Bunny where they come out and like and it's like very silly, haha, but Phil has now posted like a very sweet, very like personal coming out video as well, like coming out or like announcing of their relationship, like declaration of love kind of video.
For sure.
And Dan's like, you've stolen our thunder. What the fuck? But it's very sweet. And that's sort of where it ends. And like they decide that they're gonna like chill and they're cuddling, and that's kind of it. And they kind of decide that like, yeah, this journey has kind of had its moments, but I'm glad this is where we've landed. And that's their Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I do think it would have benefited me to know a single thing about Dan and Phil.
That is valid, 100%.
Other than the fact that their names are Dan and Phil, I'm not even 100% sure I can tell you which one is which. But I know enough about them that they came out, they had been dating for a long time, and people spent a lot of time speculating, and then it became like a thing. I quite enjoyed this fic. I thought it was very sweet. I read it this afternoon.
Lovely.
It was it was like a quick little read, but it was very, very sweet. And to your credit, a hint of angst.
Thank you. I
love it.
I was pretty proud of that. I was like, nice. And we have just the tiniest smidge of tension for you.
It's almost like you know me. 8 years deep. You're like, Erin wants some angst. I got to give her a little something.
Gotta give it a little something.
Yeah. I liked this a lot. I thought it was really well paced. I again, kind of struggled with some of the connections between the vignettes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, with the timing. But who cares? Generally, you get it. You don't have to.
Right.
I was not sitting there being like, but wait, how many minutes have passed since this last conversation? It doesn't fucking matter. It was sweet. And it was a very grounded dialogue. I feel like this author has spoken to a person before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes with fic dialogue, it's very stilted, or if it's not how people really talk. This felt like, oh, this is a couple that's been together for 10 years.
And I specifically on that, I wanted to say part of what for many reasons I chose this, but one of them was that as I was reading this, it was easy to hear their voices saying it. They really nailed the personality, in my opinion.
Nice. Yeah. It was very grounded, and it definitely read like real people talking to each other, and also real people ribbing without going too far, and while also kind of dancing around a real pain point and being like, we're gonna make it a little funny because that's how we're dealing with it.
Yeah.
But there is real pain there. And that is a hard thing to do. So kudos to this author for kind of nailing it. Not even kind of fully nailing it. They did a great job.
Yeah, I agree. It's there's something about almost the things that are left unsaid are more powerful than what is actually said. And I agree. That's a really great observation.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the notes says trips over first rule of Fight Club. Oops. And I was like, what happened? What does that mean? Author, queer tarot author person whose name I already forget. Queer of Cups. What does that note mean?
I think it means, the first rule of Fight Club.
Yeah. You don't talk about Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club. If I remember correctly, there is a huge... So this was written in... 2017 is the other thing. It's this was written 8 years ago before people knew that, before it was confirmed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Psychic.
Yep. I think by this point I wasn't as involved in the fandom anymore.
Yeah.
I was really there during its heyday in the early 2010s. But I think that there was a huge contingent of people that were the Valentine's Day video is their business. It's personal, and no one should have seen it, and as much as we can minimize talking about it, we should, because it's none of our business, and whether what it was, what it wasn't. People are just trying to be respectful. So I think that this is that's a nod to that. I understand we kind of are trying to avoid talking about that, or it's not it shouldn't. It's we shouldn't know about it, but we do. It's that weird murky area that I think.
Yeah, it's about that. That wasn't about the fic. That was about the real thing. Because I was at what point does Fight Club come into this fic? I have questions. That makes more sense. Yeah. That's nuts that this came out before they did. That's...
Yes.
Wow. I'm sure we're about to talk about this because I feel it's this is part of the reason he chose it, and I don't want to jump the gun, but I do feel the speculative aspect of their relationship like was such a big thing, and like people like it was such a big part of the fandom, and like walking that line is so crazy and like to deal with. Please jump in because I want to hear why you picked this fic, what you wanted to talk about. I'm invested.
Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, their coming out video was in October of 2025, and like it was, I watched it and then like almost immediately texted Aaron and said I need to talk about this. And then it took a couple months, but
and then
it was
6
kind of
months
great.
later, here we are. No, it's like it's like four.
Yeah, totally doable. But there is some like it just I don't know how to express like there's something so this is where my parasocial kind of like thing like flares up and like I'm trying to be mindful of it. But there was something really like healing about getting to like hear them speak their truth because I think if I remember the timeline correctly, they both came out in 2022. Like Dan released it like coming out. Oh, so that's the other thing is that there's been some confusion for certain people, like a Nelson Mandela effect kind of going on, where people are like, didn't this already happen? So no, Dan came out as gay in 2022, and then I think like a week later, Phil dropped his gay video as well.
His gay
And
video.
yeah, his coming out video where he also says like gay because I think they're both titled something like gay or like coming out.
No, I
don't
get
know,
it. I'm just being a little shit because it's fun.
It is funny.
Yeah.
And then I think like a year later, they talked about they bought like they were building their dream house together. But again, it was like never confirmed, but it was like enough that people were like, okay, I mean, it's that weird space where like it's not confirmed, but it is. I mean,
you can kind of guess.
Exactly. Like again,
yeah.
I totally respect their decision to not like tell people or to share what they want to share, but it was like mostly done and dusted. So then to like have more confirmation was like, oh whoa.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful, and like I felt very emotional during that video, and they talked specifically about how hard it was, and that's part of the reasons that I chose this fic specifically is that they talked about how hard it was to have something born out of love be tarnished so much and like become such a pain point in their relationship, like to the point that so they released this video or like well, they didn't release this video but this video was leaked and people were blackmailing them over it, and so they had to come out and like their official cover up is that it was part of an April Fool's series that they were going to do. It was like a skit that they'd written for an April Fool's series, but they ended up having to scrap, so it wasn't real. And like the pain of having to like lie about something that was such a beautiful gift is like so like that, and that's kind of like that's kind of why I come back to them every now and then, and like I think about their journey a lot because they've been doing this for like 17 years, 16, 17 years at this point. And they were around and doing vlogging like before internet culture as we know it now existed. Like people were vlogging, and like part of it too is that they were so careless, and they admit to this. They were like, we were idiots with like the information they gave like people, like their day in the lives. Like people figured out what building they were living in, and like based on like their route that they took, and like there's maps out there that people have like it. Like the fandom was obsessive, but it was at the very start before people realized like they like this is something they do that is outside of them. This is not their lives. And like that is it's like when the lines were more blurry, not to say it's acceptable, but it was like it was a very much a no man's land. Like there was no rules yet.
Well, in creators in particular, I think people like you don't expect people to care so much that they are going to functionally stalk you. Like, especially with the internet, it was so new and so like, I'm just some guy. Like, why are you like people? There wasn't really, I think it's really taken until I would argue maybe the last 5 years for there to be internet celebrities who are more famous, I would argue, than traditional celebrities. Like there are people that like maybe the last 10 you could argue, but for a long time, YouTube was niche celebrity. You are famous to a very specific subset of people. So why would you worry about them necessarily like tracking down where you live? You're like, I'm not famous though. Like there was like a different level of, do you know what I'm trying to get at with that?
Yeah, for sure.
And they were unfortunately folks that like learned the hard way.
Well, it was also the thing they specifically grew exponentially at a ridiculous rate. I think it was in a single calendar year, Dan reached 1 million subscribers, and then like 3 months later reached 2 million subscribers. and then 3 months later reached 3 million subscribers. Like in the span of one calendar year,
Yeah.
he tripled his like follower count. And this
Yeah.
was also like during the time that YouTubers were doing like those YouTube conferences like VidCon and like Summer in the City, and I forget the other one, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of travel and stuff too. So like it's
Yeah.
such a fascinating, and like kudos to them, because now I'm back to watching their videos, not all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but like here and then, like I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I'll watch it. And really funny, so their coming out video as relationship video ends with the announcement of their podcast that they've launched called Hard Launch. Which I
Good
was
for
like, that's
them.
hysterical. Exactly, I'm like, get your coin, it's
Yeah.
the least you deserve.
Do you want to come be on the fic list?
I thought really hard about it. I was like, hey, please
You're like,
come be
come
on the pick list.
reach out. We'll do an author's note episode.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be so
A
fun.
special guest, Alan and Dan and Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so amazing to see their trajectory, like how they transformed to from the start of YouTube, where it was very much like cringy like millennial humor, and then like the vlogging, the daily walking around kind of stuff, and it's like how they've just continuously adapted and like continue to do, like they now mostly do live shows as well, and they've written many books. They released 5 albums of like chill beats, like lo-fi chill beats that are royalty free that people can just use.
Nice.
Like, yeah, they are prolific. They have just
Yeah.
been going, and it's really awesome to see them like have grown into that. But it's like you do, like it's so nostalgic for me, because it's like I go back and they were kids for the at the very beginning, and I
Yeah.
was too, so it brings up a lot of the memories.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was like, I need to talk about this, because it's like
Yeah.
it's so cool.
I think there's also, I think maybe this is what you were talking about at the top of the episode, but there is an interesting connection between them and now like what Hudson Williams and Connor Story are going through. And
Yeah.
it all ties back to like the Kit Connor experience, like
Yes.
all of these things where like inevitably what happens is like fandom starts to speculate about people's
Mhm.
sexualities, and it's like we've talked about how damaging that is in so many
Yeah.
ways, and like once again friends, we are not going to speculate about
Mhm.
anybody's sexuality. And like it is so like this fic really reckons with like what can happen if you
Mhm.
are forced to come out, or forced or like potentially outed before you're
Mhm.
ready, and how that has like lingering scars, and how that like
Yeah.
it can do damage in ways that like you can't really deal with it because it's not. And that's ultimately what happens in like game changers, like the series too, is like
Yep.
they are outed, and like but it's such a sort of common story trope, but it does happen in real life. And like again, we leave Hudson Williams and Connor Story alone.
Please.
I also think, and like I'd be interested in your take on this, I've seen a lot of older queers, and it's specifically queer people being like, well, if you know, you know. And I'm like, that's just as bad. That's
Yeah.
just as bad. You got to stop saying that, because
Yeah.
it's also shitty to be
Mhm.
like, well, I clocked it because
Right.
and it's like, no. Like, you didn't clock shit. First of all, I don't get
Mhm.
clocked ever. Like, people always are like, ah, yes, the straight girl who dresses like it's Little House on the Prairie. And I'm like, you don't know for sure based on behavior. Also, these are like
Right.
2 25-year-old kids who've been born and raised on the internet. Like, it's a different vibe. These like
Right.
young people have a very different energy than millennials
Exactly.
did. Like, we are the last like Glee generation where like like there was a very distinctive like gay stereotype.
Yep.
I think that's gone now. I think queerness has become more prolific and more diverse amongst young
Mhm.
people. And honestly, it's like it's been picked up as kind of like an aesthetic, which we can argue whether or not that's a good thing. I have feelings about it in multiple different directions,
For sure.
but it does mean that you cannot make assumptions at all.
Right.
Like, we've all got septum rings now. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I also think it's like, I think that's equally as shitty as being like, I don't know, like, is he any? It's like, no, you can't just be like, oh, I clocked it. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't clock shit.
Right.
You're equally speculating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. So
Just let people live their lives.
truly, just like leave those little boys
Be happy
alone.
for them when you should be, and like
Yeah. I will say one thing, the other thing that is sort of like, is I think we've reached a point where we need to stop forcing fandom on actors.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel like it's a thing with, Dan and Phil. It's been a thing for a long time where like we're getting more and more comfortable blurring the line between fandom. And frankly, we might be part of it. Like, frankly, what we do might be contributing to the thing, especially me with author's notes. Like, that's kind of what it is. And it's a line that I think about all the time with that interview series. For those who are maybe not familiar, I do interviews with like creative people about their relationships to fandom. But when I'm crafting questions, I am always thinking like, I will not be the one who breaches the topic of, did you write fan fiction? Are you familiar with these aspects of fandom? Like, whatever. It's always talked about like, what are the things that you were a fan of?
Yeah. What do you engage with?
What are your influences? Like, how's your relationship to media changed since now becoming a professional creator? So like from that perspective. But I think like, obviously Hudson Williams in particular is a little like feral child.
Yes.
And I love that for him.
Me too.
But I was like, this is going to last approximately 3 minutes and people are going to take it too far and you are going to have to stop.
Yeah.
I can see it happening in real time where I'm like, you actually can't be playful with fandom in this way because it will go too far too quickly. And like, was it fun to watch them do the like thirst tweet thing? Sure. Do I think Joyce, and it absolutely was Joyce Louis Jean from BuzzFeed days who asked this question, who was the producer on that video, I'd know her voice anywhere, included like an Omegaverse tweet in that.
Oh.
And I was like,
interesting.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. Like,
that's a weird one.
I get it. It's fun. It's funny.
Right. And like, yeah, and to an extent, it's like, it's a large contingent, I feel like, of fanfic for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the impulse for wanting to ask, but I don't think it always means you should.
Yeah. And like, it was very much like one of the tweet was like, watching Heated Rivalry is the closest I'll get to watching Omegaverse in real time. Or like, that was the tweet. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that, but sure, fine, whatever. Like, fandom's funny. Did they have to read it?
Did they have to know of the existence of that tweet?
Yeah, did they have to react to it in real time?
Yeah, there's like, I'm sure you could have found any other amount of suitable tweets.
Yeah, and like, maybe they cleared it. Maybe that was something that like they had discussed.
Maybe
their managers were okay with it. Like, maybe they were fine.
True.
And like, maybe I am assuming a level of like thrust upon them ness that wasn't real. But I do worry about it a lot. Where I'm like, I don't know, man. I think the fourth wall is helpful sometimes. So like, I think boundaries are good, actually.
Yeah, I think the problem becomes that I think you're right in the sense of that maybe we contribute a little bit to that problem, but not in the ways that like, I think that what we are doing and I think has been the impetus from our show since the beginning is that we have been trying to craft a like bridge, a like door for people to like come through and like be more informed and like to learn. And I think that unfortunately there is also, and I don't know that I can think of any examples off the top of my head, so I'd be curious to hear what you think, but I think that to a degree it feels like fandom has become so commercialized. Like, I look at all of the like comment sections of like videos and like, why is Tide's Pods commenting on this? Like, I don't like, it's like, and I get it, they've like found all of these interns and all of these Gen Zers are the ones running this account, and it's like very Gen Z humor, but it does feel a little bit like they've infiltrated spaces that they shouldn't have. And it's like, it's the ever living, like, I just, every time they find a new surface to plaster a goddamn add-on, I get closer and closer to losing my shit, because I'm like, we have enough. There is enough saturation of your fucking products on every facet of our lives. I don't need it in this. And like, it feels to a degree that fandom is kind of becoming that. Like, and I think about like the thirst tweets. You think of like the YouTube videos, like the interviews that folks have to do nowadays, where these kinds of questions do come up, and it's like, it's people are engaging with fandom, but are using it not responsibly.
Yes, drink responsibly. I'm totally with you, and I think I should clarify. Like, I think we walk a line, right?
Yes.
And of course I do, because it's me. Of course I think I'm good at it. Whatever. But I do think that there is a line to walk.
For sure.
Between let's take fandom seriously, let's talk about this, let's normalize the fact that this is a big part of a lot of people's lives, and like, it shouldn't be shit on, but not tipping over so far into, we're going to use this as like to your point, as like this is now going to become like a marketing tactic, or this is going to be something that we use to like make actors uncomfortable, to get like a viral moment, like
to get clicks.
Yeah, to like get clicks or whatever. Like I think that is where it starts to get dicey for me. And again, like I think Hudson Williams probably knew going in what Omegaverse was. Probably. He seems like a kid who like is at least on the internet enough to know or to have heard about certain things. But I do like some of the reactions that Connor Story has had. I was like, I don't think this kid is actually that comfortable with this. Like, he's like seems to be having a good time or whatever, but like maybe leave him alone. let him talk about clowning. He seems to be really excited about all this like physical acting stuff he wants to do, and like let him be an artist, you know?
Exactly.
Like, and somebody pointed out on TikTok that like they're setting up for two very different careers, which I think is true, where it seems like they're setting Hudson Williams up to go a very mainstream path, which would be excellent for him, right? Like they're already like, he keeps being like, I could be Nightwing. I could be Nightwing. And I'm like, you could be Nightwing. That would be excellent. Like he's getting set up for this very mainstream, very like big budget movie potential, like action star, like whatever success. And like he can do a lot. Like I think he could probably pull off also doing like more indie film stuff like that, obviously. Connor Story is very clearly setting up for art film.
Interesting.
And, like he's not, they're not marketing him the same way.
Yeah.
It's a very different, there's a different vibe where he very clearly wants to be like a character actor.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but like it makes sense then why Hudson Williams would be more willing to engage with like fandom stuff, and Connor Story is more like, I just want to go make my, because he's directing a feature film on like an iPhone. Like Connor Story is releasing like a full-length film about like an alien who comes down and like lives and like experiences human life. Like it's this weird like art film that he made on an iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah, that he's like releasing next year or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I just really want to like ask metaphysical questions in art. And I'm like, okay, you have like a different vibe, like a very different vibe. And like, I think we should let him do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't ask that guy about Omegaverse.
Yeah.
That's not the right, I don't know. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but like,
I think it's so valid, but the unfortunate part is that I think to a degree this has always existed in Hollywood, you know? Like it's very much that like immediately trying to fit people into boxes because that's what you expect them to be, and like, okay, this is where he should be, and this is the kind of work he should be doing, and like it's so frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. And like I say that just sort of based on like my interpretation of how they're moving in the space, right? So like I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Hudson Williams would be like, I want to do indie rom-coms for the rest of my life. I could be projecting. I totally could be. I think what I'm really trying to get at is like, I think some shame is okay, actually. Like I think some, or not like, because not, I say that as a joke. I think a certain amount of discernment is helpful, and it all it ties back to the speculation to me, and it comes into this whole thing of like, we keep crossing lines into personal, and it happened to Dan and Phil, it happens to YouTubers all the time, it happens to celebrities over and over again, where like they want to be fun and playful, they want to engage with fans, and then it becomes like, oh, I actually can't, like this, like these boundaries get pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where it's like they have to back off and they have to like not participate anymore because people don't respect the line between personal and professional. I think that's what I'm getting at. And so seeing that happen in real time is like kind of a bummer, but also like this fic deals with the idea of like reckoning with what happens when those boundaries are crossed in a way that I think is really interesting and like happens in real life. So.
I agree. And I mean, coming back again to the video in which they came out, they like talked a lot about all of the repercussions and like how hard it was for them. So like, it is interesting to have a record of like, this is really what happened. Yeah,
that's gotta be wild to like have your whole life pretty much documented.
Yeah, and to like, and I can't get over the fact like of having to like publicly deny people because you aren't ready, or like, you know. And it was also such a different time. Like this was pre the legalization of same-sex marriage in the US, so like things that we take for granted, although maybe not so much anymore, but like, you know, it's easy to forget like how much changes in just 10 years.
I've been thinking about that a lot recently, where I was like, whoa, like it is so new, it's so recent. Like I have the Oberfellsch v. Hodges decision framed on my wall, And my mom bought it for me in Provincetown, which was very nice, at the lesbian store.
Love that.
Love it. Women Crafts in Provincetown.
Hell
Also not
yes.
sponsored. I just love them. But like, I think it's really wild to think, and this, like, I thought about this in relation to, again, author's notes, like talking to TJ Klune, how much has changed in the last 20 years, I would say. Because like we were pretty much adults when that decision came down. Like, I remember being at summer camp. I worked at a summer camp at the time, and I remember when that news broke, and about half of the staff had to be very quiet and very excited. Like, a bunch of us, like, we all, like, we knew who each other were, and we were like, oh my god, like, we have full rights in this country. Like, this is crazy. Like, I just remember people like crying. Like, I remember it being like a big deal. And then people being worried that it was going to get taken away. Like, almost immediately people were like, I got to get married now because they're going to reverse this.
Yeah, I was going to say almost immediately.
Like, and to go from to like be in the place that we're at right now, knowing that that was not that long ago. Like, that was 2 years before we started this podcast, if you think about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
So
wow.
Like, that just is like, I've been thinking about that a lot, and like how recent it was, and how fragile it is, and how like it seems like we've made all of these leaps forward, and we have in a lot of ways. But then to like also sit with like, but it's still not safe. Like, we haven't solved the problem. Like, we haven't. There are still so many issues at hand, and like sometimes I sit there and I'm like, fandom doesn't matter. This is so stupid. Like, this is whatever. And then I'm like, wait, it kind of is that deep though. Like, this is like, fandom is a microcosm of society, and we have to, like, the same issues that are plaguing the larger society plague fandom. And so when you talk about them in a fandom space, you're also talking about issues writ large, which is why I'm always just like, okay, actually this does matter, maybe a little bit. I'll read my smutty smut, whatever, like, move on. But like, and that's when I come back around to being like, okay, this podcast actually is great. Like, everything's fine. So, yeah.
Yes.
So much for having a separate yap.
I know. I kind of liked it though. I was like, I was stressed about the structure. I was like, oh my god, a structured yap is coming.
I think we're just gonna have more yap. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it was a warning to the listeners. Like, be warned, more yapping than usual.
It's just that we don't want to have a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, no, that's so valid. Issue. Yeah. One thing I really wanted to mention about the other reason I was like, I need to talk about Dan and Phil, is because the connection between Ilya and Shane's, like, having, like, you know, hiding away for many, like, 10 years. Like, I was like, it's literally a parallel. It's like, you cannot, there's also, like, you know that scene in Heated Rivalry where they're at the press conference and, like, they ask Rozanov a question.
Oh, yeah.
And he, like, and then Shane steps in. There's a very famous clip in the fandom where they're at VidCon and it's Dan and Phil keeps trying to talk, and they're doing like a panel with like Americans, American YouTubers, white male YouTubers. So it, like, he keeps getting talked over, and at one point, like, there's a video of Dan reaching across to one of the microphones and saying, "Excuse me, can Phil express an opinion?" And like, it like, people were speculating for weeks, you know, and it's that kind of thing. It's like watching the ripples. It's like, I was like, the parallels of like, this has literally happened to two people already. Like, they've been together for 16 years since the beginning, and like, it's like the ups and downs of that. So I was like, this is the episode. It all connects. I felt like that Charlie Day meme with the board.
With the red lines. You're like, I figured it out.
I was like,
That's really funny. No, for sure. That's so, To be fair, if we were in that situation and you were getting talked over, I would also do that.
I
feel like you would do the same. You'd be like, "Can we speak, please?" Like, could anyone of us?
Actually, can you shut the fuck up?
Soundboard man, can you please mute those people? It's gonna be like debate rules. Like, you're gonna get muted if you keep talking.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Speaking of white boys who shouldn't have microphones, remind me during the Yap session to talk about the podcast drama related to Heated Rivalry.
Oh my god. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't rate this episode.
I was about to say
it's time. I think, you know what? I'm feeling the love and spirit. I think you get a 5 for this fic.
Yes. Okay. That is harder to get than an Allen 5. They're much more rare, so I'm gonna just wear it
Yeah.
proudly, like on my chest.
That's my Valentine's Day gift to you, my dear.
Aw, you big
Aw,
sap.
it was really good. I had a good time. I really liked it. So I think it's good. I would say that it would impel me to pay more attention to Dan and Phil, but that would be a lie.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
missed the
valid.
boat on that one. Um,
And it's gone, long
long
gone.
gone. It is interesting to me though. So I'll sort of say this and hopefully not launch us on another 3-hour conversation. But the nostalgia rewatching thing is so real. The like going
Yeah.
back to content from my like late teens, early 20s, because I think listeners will know like Try Guys Kick for me was just like very strong.
Yeah.
And a big part of it was because they had their big scandal. And then I was like, oh yeah, the Try Guys exist.
Oh.
I remember. And then I got really back into it because I was kind of
Nice.
reminded that they exist. And it sounds
Yeah.
like kind of a similar thing happened to you where you were like, oh, they came out, like, I got to go back into this. And like, it kind of pulled you back into the fold. Isn't it crazy that like
Yep.
the nostalgia thing is like so, I mean, it makes sense given that everything is
Yeah.
terrible, that we're all like, can I just have some millennial comfort, please?
And it's so funny you say that because they've had Dan and Phil have had a resurgence in the last couple of years, specifically because they're doing a lot of reactions to their old videos. Like a lot of iconic fandom videos are going back and rewatching, and they're cringing a lot
Yeah.
of it. So like I think there is like a certain level of like you've gotta accept that it is cringy. We lived in a time where like we didn't understand yet that things on the internet were there forever.
Yeah.
So there was comfort in being outwardly cringy.
I would actually argue that we knew it was cringy and we didn't care.
Yeah, sorry. I think that's what
Yeah.
I mean to say. Like it's like there was we didn't care as much
Yeah.
about it because we didn't grow up with the ever like that eye,
Yes.
the online eye,
The
constantly living behind
panopticon.
it. Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's totally true. And like that's one thing that I actually feel really bad for about younger people
Yeah.
where I'm like they're so freaked out all the time and frankly rightfully so about being
For
like
sure.
caught on camera doing something embarrassing all the time. And I'm like, man,
Mhm.
we were cringe but we were free. Like
We had a whole TV show about
Yeah.
it. They called it America's Funniest
yeah,
Home
and it was
Videos.
funny, but you got money off of it. Like who cared? Like no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
And like kids were running around with tails. Like it was fine. Like
Right.
it's fine.
It was fine and expected for kids to just be able to like use their imaginations to be dumb and play mermaids and
Yeah.
like that's a whole other subset of like comfort watches on social media for me. It's like these like I can think of like two girls specifically who are always like oh playing mermaids with my friends
Yeah.
or like oh buying my first CD, like the all of the millennial experiences that are just like it was a freer time.
Yeah, and like I don't want to have rose-colored glasses about it because obviously,
Of course.
obviously, some people were bullied heavily.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like,
it was not
yeah,
perfect.
and like obviously that was also an era where like growing up you did get like gay bashed all the time and everything was that's so gay and whatever.
Yeah.
And like that was there were tough moments in our like we were not a perfect generation.
No.
But
Yeah,
we
no, good call.
certainly were less worried about, or I think there was at least, and maybe it was a fandom thing, there was a certain amount of like, let your little freak flag fly, baby. Like,
Yeah.
and it was in large part because, to tie it back, because there was a fourth wall, because it was insulated a little bit. And like, I think there was a certain amount of like, this is the little freak corner. And
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
good point.
and it's
Good way to
okay.
put it.
Like you have a safe place over here,
There's like space,
and
yeah.
those walls are kind of coming down. And like I do think COVID and 2020 really changed people's relationship with fandom and being
Yeah.
online, and now it became a lot more
Online,
public.
yeah.
And so, like, yeah, I feel bad for folks who are really impacted by the panopticon of social media. Well, and now TikTok is ice or whatever. So
Oh my god.
everything's terrible.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think we reach a point where maybe we go back to being freaks and it's fine.
Yeah, I think that and that's like I wonder how much of that is even a possibility for like the newer generation, because it's like you and I feel like we are able to dig back to like a former operating system where like we know kind of what it feels like, but if you grew up not knowing that,
Yeah.
like it's harder bar to reach for.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
unlearn a lot of shame.
Yeah, isn't that it's such a shame. But it's really awful that like it feels like the amount of shame that youth grow up with. Like it has increased like socially as they grow up. Like I feel like it's upped from when we were young.
Yeah. I do. We really gotta like move on, but like it's fine. We're in it to win it now. I do feel like it's parallel with the rise of conservatism in Western countries, for sure. Where it's like we were youths when like the liberals were. It seemed like we were headed for a more liberal or a more progressive world, and like that included letting people be queer and letting people be who they are and having real conversations about race and having real conversations about gender. And I think there was a big backlash to that, where there were people who were like, no, I ascribe to a more traditional power structure because it benefits me. So I'm actually going to enforce these. Like, I want to go back. And that is sort of like part of it too, is like, it's putting people back in line in a way.
Yeah.
Bummer.
It is. It surely is.
Well, this has been the Fic Class.
Yeah, thanks for
listening. We're going to talk about a lot of queer shit later. No. You know what? Fuck it. I think also maybe this is an extinction burst. And like the thing that I try to hold on to, like the thing that actually gives me hope in these times is that like clearly there are more of us than there are of them. And they're currently like, they've got all the marbles, to quote Newsies. But I think if we really actually organize and we actually really like get together and figure out what we want to do, like I'm hoping that this is an extinction burst of a worldview that goes away and we are able to come out the other side better for it.
That would be
preferably with fewer people dying, but
yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Quote Alan.
Quote 2026.
Fingers crossed. We are cringe and we are free. We say fingies. We are old. We are old.
Yeah, it's true. Insert that SpongeBob episode. I'm cringy and I'm proud.
I'm cringy and I'm proud. Didn't you just turn like 31 or something?
In November, I did. Yeah. Wow, dox me, why don't you?
Sorry, I'm 33. I had a moment. Like when you got older, I was like, wait, what? Like, no. Alan is like 26.
Oh man,
forever in my heart of hearts. I was like, Alan is baby. What are you talking about?
I mean, I am baby.
You are baby.
Just 31-year-old
baby. But it truly, I was just like, wow, we are old. We're getting there.
Yeah.
But like, we're also not. It's fine. 30s, honestly.
Yeah.
I've been liking my 30s. Other than the impending fascism, it's been pretty good.
30 itself was a really hard year for me personally, but it was also a year in which I grew exponentially. And so I'm hoping that 31, I'm able to make use of that a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, thus far, I'm a fan. But it is like weird to like think about every now and then. And I think about this all the time, actually. I think about aging so much. For someone who is like, in theory, like I'm never like, oh my God, I look so old. And I'm like, every now and then, suddenly you catch yourself in the corner of your eye and you're like, oh my God. But most of the time I'm at peace with it. Like I will age and that's fine. It's a privilege that not a lot of people get. So I'm like trying to hold that into my heart at all times. But it is wild how often, like I was always interested when older folk would say like, I feel young. Like I still feel like I'm X amount age in my heart. And like, that is true. Like it just, you don't feel your age. You just always like feel younger by X amount of years. Like I do genuinely feel like I'm 26 or 27, but no.
Nope.
I am not.
That's a hard pass. The only time I'm like, I am elderly is when I move the wrong way and damage myself.
Yeah.
And then like my arm, like I pull a muscle in my neck and I can't move for 2 days. And I'm like,
yeah,
I used to be able to sit on the floor.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I can't do that shit anymore. Like those are times where I'm like, oh, I'm old. But you're right. Like there are times like simultaneously I'm like, I am actually like 16 years old. And I'm also like, I'm 1,000 years old. Like sometimes this is true. Sometimes I'll have friends who get pregnant and I still am like, teenage pregnant?
What are you going to do?
Teenage pregnancy? Are you gonna be a teenage mother? And then it's like we're married. Like my friends are like, I have a husband and like a mortgage. Like it's fine. Like we did. Not only is this intentional, we've been actively trying for this.
Actively trying.
And we're like, actually, it's considered like a geriatric pregnancy because we're in our 30s. It's so funny.
It's amazing.
It's so funny. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I guess that is a thing that people do. I'm not gonna have a baby anytime soon. But
me neither.
Yeah, good.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who's better than us? All right, friends. We should wrap up this episode and do our little end spiel, and then we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna record just a full on further yap sesh. Specifically talking about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And other gay shit.
Other gay shit.
Yeah, it's just gonna be You're the Queer. Do you want me to close us out, or do you want to?
No, please. I'm happy to let you.
Like, please, whatever you do. So as per usual, you can find us online wherever podcasts are sold. We also have a website. It's a new website because our old one died.
May it rest in peace.
Well, what really happened is that our old one used to cost us like $50, and then they were like, we're going to charge you $300. And I was like, that's bullshit. So we migrated it, and boy, was it stressful.
Yeah,
we were like, oh man, what's happening? But now we do have it's a WordPress site now, so I really like it quite a bit.
I was gonna say,
yeah, thefickless.com, and then you can find us on all the social medias being tracked by the government, which is super fun. Yeah, mostly TikTok. I do now cross-post TikToks to other platforms more regularly than I ever used to. So if you are an Instagram girly, you can find us there. We had a Blue Sky. We have a Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I am not a text person. I'm just not, and their video player is not great.
That's a shame. I've been curious about it because I was like, I never joined because I was like, I've never used Twitter, so I was like, why am I gonna get on Blue Sky? What's the point?
That's kind of what happened to me. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is not great. We are there. That might change. I reserve the right to change my mind.
For sure.
But yeah, you can find us all the places. I have been doing, like I said, episodes of Author's Notes, which is an interview series that I have been spearheading in the interim while Alan goes and tries to be an actor and does all of
capital
these
A
actor and potentially a director but like all these amazing artistic endeavors that take up all of his time and means that he's not here for me anymore.
No, it's just we're both busy.
We are.
Miss just came from Disney.
I know, we are both really busy. I also have like a whole second job now. Like it's a whole thing.
I was gonna say you were in the labor course. You had your concert. Like, you were busy.
I know. I'm helping manage an artist. Like it's a whole thing.
Oh, that's
which is like crazy. Yeah, I need to sleep. It's fine. And we're going to AwesomeCon, babes.
I know. Yes. And look at that. What is this? Year 6?
6?
7?
6? No, I think it's either 5 or 6. I should say we, as in me and Caitlin.
Yeah.
Because Alan once again said I cannot commit.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I have a show that week.
Yeah, which is fine. It's totally cool. But we are doing OTP or no OTP, which is our standard bread and butter.
Ooh.
And we are co-hosting it with Mko Seek, who is a wonderful cosplay host and cosplayer, and just like stepped in last year at the last minute when Alan had to bail, and has been like such a delight to really matched our freak.
Excellent.
Let's be real. Like, was so like down for us to be like, so this is the chaos that you're stepping into, and they were like, okay, cool. Like, I'm into it. I don't want to name who it is, but I am gonna ask a special guest to join us, and it would be super fun. I will tell you off camera.
Good. I was like, can I know?
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea if it's gonna work out, which is why I don't want to say it, because I haven't even asked the question yet. But like, I have a vision of how this is gonna go.
Oh my god.
Before we go, I want to say a big old thank you to our Ko-Fi supporters.
Yes.
We've had really lovely folks who have like stuck with us for now, looking back from 2023 is our first.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Our beloved Dion. I love Dion. Dion's been with us since day one.
I was gonna say, I remember Dion. Oh my god.
So Dion, friend of the pod, OG. Also Allie, Leo, Rose, Danielle, Sly, Charlotte, and new friend of the pod as of yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Marina.
Oh my gosh. Welcome. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so kind. I really appreciate you all.
It's so incredibly kind. And just as a reminder, like, the Ko-Fi is set to the bare minimum amount that we were ever allowed to do, which is $1. And many of these folks give us $1 a month. And because there are a number of us, like a number of folks involved, it pretty much pays for the Zoom account, which means that Author's Notes can continue.
Yeah.
You are making a difference, even with $1 a month, like for realsies. And it is very, very much appreciated. And thank you. You're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Wow.
come back. We're gonna come back.
Just a nice standard episode for you all.
Just
You're welcome.
a great little episode. We're gonna take like a 5-minute break.
Yes.
But I'm probably gonna take 2 more weeks to edit the next episode. So really, this break for you is however long it takes for me to edit the second episode. We're gonna take like a 5-minute break. I'm gonna turn the lights on in my house.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
And I'm gonna have a snacky, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna yap.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes, love it.
Yay, love it. Okay.
Woo.
Bye.
Bye.